Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Hey, listen, I watched the Erickson Lubin fight against Ramos. And I'm going to tell you right now, Ramos was winning that fight. This is the thing, right? Lubin was staying busy. He was staying active. But this is the problem, right? You've heard it said before, and I'm going to say it again. A fighter loses the right to complain when they let it go to the judges. Furthermore, they lose their right to complain, if they lose a fight, when they give away those championship rounds. Now, BoxingScene.com, they were doing a live scoring. And what I attached is what BoxingScene.com scored, how they scored the fight. They had the first round for Lubin, the second through the fourth round for Ramos, the fifth round for Lubin, the sixth through the eighth round for Ramos, the ninth round for Lubin, the 10th and 11th for Ramos, and the 12th round for Lubin. Let me tell you something. That 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th round, Ramos didn't do enough, in my opinion. He allowed the fight to be too close. Those early rounds, I was watching it, and Lubin was active. He was doing things, but it was kind of like watching Devin Haney against Lomachenko, who was landing the more eye-catching shots. You know what I'm saying? I think if people go and rewatch that fight, they may see it a little bit differently. But I definitely, when I was watching it, especially when around nine hit, and I was like, okay, this isn't good for Ramos. And I even commented, I was tweeting, I was like, yo, this is going to end up like Felix Trinidad against De La Hoya, where De La Hoya was up. Everybody who watched that fight knows De La Hoya was up. And then he took his foot off the gas. And Trinidad just kind of plodded his way along and ended up getting back in the fight and getting the decision. Now, I still felt De La Hoya did more than enough to get that win, but you lose your right to complain when you let it go to the judges. And I'm going to tell you right now, I think Ramos could have stopped Lubin. If Ramos would have pressed him more, I think he could have stopped him with no problem. Ramos was hitting Lubin, man. Some of those combinations, man. Body, head, uppercut, step around, uppercut, back to the other side, uppercut. I mean, beautiful combinations. And I was like, damn it, he can knock him out. And you could tell he was stronger. Lubin was respecting his power. That's why, let me tell you something, right? Now remember, I think Ramos I wasn't surprised at the decision, but I felt Ramos was en route to getting a victory. But it doesn't matter what I think or what you think or the people out there who feel that Lubin won 10 out of the 12 rounds, right? Because there's some people who felt Lubin won 10 out of the 12 rounds, which is preposterous. But even Lubin's coach was telling him, let your hands go. You know, getting frustrated. When you see a person's cornerman, the trainer and everybody getting upset at them and begging and pleading for them to fight, that means that even they're seeing a fight where their fighter's losing. So that's why there's an uproar about Erickson Lubin getting the win. Because even his corner was like, man, you about to lose. Okay? But Lubin got the win, it is what it is. But for Ramos, hey, he recognized, right? And that's why I respect that guy so much. He recognized that he should have picked it up. But his corner was telling him the worst stuff, man. You're up. Don't get careless. Yo, you should be telling this man to close the show. He's the youngest, was he the youngest champion or the youngest something in that weight division? 3 years younger than whoever, something they said last night. But no one knows him. He had an opportunity to put himself on the map with Erickson Lubin. Erickson Lubin is a well-known name in the sport of boxing. This young guy had an opportunity to put his name on the map against Erickson Lubin, and he dropped the ball. Took his foot off the gas. And Lubin just kept working, plodding along. And I called it. I said it on Twitter, man. I said they about to Felix Trinidad, De La Hoya, this guy. And that's what happened. And everybody like, oh man, you called it, Hood. I was like, the writing's on the wall. Lubin is with who? Lubin is the big name. Lubin is a possible big money fight for Terrence Crawford. Yo, come on, man. And it's a winnable fight for Terrence Crawford. Come on, man. But at the end of the day, I saw Lubin working. His shots weren't as I would say impactful, weren't as flashy, weren't as eye-catching as Ramos. Ramos seemed to be doing the most damage. But at the end of the day, Lubin was still plodding along, all right? So you got to give him credit for that. But it just depends on what you look for in a fight. I learned this when I was watching Devin Haney-Lomachenko. At the end of the fight, I'm like, yo, they jerked Lomachenko. Then I went and watched. I was like extremely animated about it. Then I went and watched the fight again, scored it round by round. I was like, oh, Devin Haney beat him. Yeah, we look at the shots that Lomachenko was hitting Devin Haney with. Yeah, I mean, there was some real eye-catching shots. But you look at Devin Haney, he was putting work in. It just weren't as flashy and eye-catching, but he was putting work in. And Lomachenko just picked it up too late in the fight. And in this case, Ramos he picked it up early and then he slowed down late. And that's just, should have kept going. He wasn't tired. You know, it's not like he got tired and developed low energy and ended up like Rashidi Ellis and Roman Villa. You know, that's not what happened. So going forward, for those who are real frustrated about Erickson Lubin, saying he's a gatekeeper, he got a gift decision and everything else, he's nothing but a 154-pound Adrian Broner getting gift decisions now. Look, you have your right to feel how you feel, but maybe when you that frustrated about a decision, do like what I did. Go back and score the fight with no sound. Do it round by round. Watch it. Starts off 2 minutes, 59 seconds, right? 2 minutes, write a score. Go from, 2 minutes down to 1 minute, write a score. You know what I'm saying? Then from, 59 seconds down to the round ends, write a score. And you'll be surprised what you see how you scored each round. And if you have two out of the 3 minutes to a certain fighter, it should go to them unless somebody, but the problem is somebody comes and lands a super hard shot and puts somebody on Bambi legs. Hey, they had one massive shot out of the whole 3 minutes, and the other 2 minutes and 59 seconds, they were outboxing and picking somebody away. I mean, how do you score it? It's subjective. You know what I mean? So I don't get all worked up over that stuff no more. After watching that Haney-Lomachenko fight, I said, let me score it by the minute, by the minute of each round. And once I started doing that, I said, all right. There's no right answer. You know what I'm saying? There's no right answer. That's why with me, I just say whatever. But when a person slows down in a fight that's close, you just don't know what the judges are looking at. Plus, I'm always talking about, what I'm always talking about? The secret society. People think more people now are realizing that, yeah, I have fun with it, but that I'm not joking. I'm dead serious. Stuff going on behind the scenes, key decision makers, man. We'll never know what's going on because the fly on the wall don't talk. Who would have thought Tyson Fury and Usyk would have announced the deal was done? Yeah, we're getting played out here, man. Anyway, man, the official judges' scorecards were 116, 112, 115, 113, and 117, 111. Just crazy scorecards. Anyway, Lubin got the win. But that being said, man, it's crazy scorecards. Crazy. Some people feel the scorecards are crazy. I just feel you just don't know what the judges are looking at, and a fighter loses their right to complain. But anyway, we'll see what happens next for Lubin. We'll see what happens next for Ramos. I personally think Ramos is going to come back, and he's going to go on and have a very good career at 154. I'm not sure how much further Lubin can go, because you can't sit there and think you're going to throw a little, stab, jab, and come and try to throw a shot upstairs and somebody's catching everything in their high guard and then they're banging you up. Like, you just can't get away with that. You just can't keep getting away with that. And last night, I think the reason why he was able to make it to the finish line is because Ramos took his foot off the gas and his corner was giving him bad advice. They thought they had built up a lead that was going to be hard for Lubin to overcome. It's not like Ramos knocked Lubin down a couple of times, so bad management from the corner of Ramos. And just Lubin should be thanking Ramos for taking his foot off the gas because, in my opinion, Lubin was en route to losing. Ramos was en route to victory. But at the end of the day, he went De La Hoya, thought he was good to go, and he got Felix Trinidad. That being said, y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.